too. Kevin Green is with me, and so we made it through yesterday's Fed day. We saw Bank of England cutting. Some of your thoughts, what are folks watching this morning when it comes to the S&P or levels?
Yeah, so obviously we're going to be, we are pretty much looking at that 5,700 level. We're only about 30 points away from that right now. And you actually see more of a risk on tone when you're looking at the sector performance so far, where you have utilities, staples kind of lagging behind, but you have consumer discretionary, information technology, and communication services really leading the way. So that type of weighting when it comes to market cap is obviously going to influence the market a little bit higher here. At the open, you did see a little bit of a flush when it came to NVIDIA as well as Google. We'll keep that on the radar here, Nicole, but obviously these trade deals are really kind of trying to fuel a lot of this market enthusiasm. 5,700 to the upside, once again, an area to kind of focus on here. Also looking at that 200-day moving average. If we have some other announcement today that's actually bullish for the market, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that we can get to the 5750-ish area. You are seeing some early flows there when you're looking at the S&P 500 options. And then once again, trying to hold that 5,600 level. I'm still keeping an eye on the stochastics as well as CCI. They have flashed some pullback signals for now, but it's never a given. Obviously, the news flow is really going to determine what price is doing over the technicals, but there is a little bit of a warning sign that has been flashing here for the most part for the S&P 500, but we're holding up. Intraday-wise, 5,700 once again to the upside. First area that I'm focusing on here, 5,630, an intermediate area of support that we could see the market actually try to test, and maybe some buyers coming through and trying to hold that level. If you kind of look at the last day or 2 days, 5,630 has been an area of resistance. Now you would like to see that actually turn into a potential area of support, and any further move to the downside, once again, 5,600 here. But the bulls continue to kind of thrive in this market for now. We continue to try to recover some of the losses from the highs that we had a couple of months ago here, and it doesn't seem like it's trying to abate anytime soon. And the news flow is really trying to help us out with that, given the fact that the Fed really didn't give us any bullish signals as well as any bearish signals overall. So.
Yeah, and most of the sectors here, when you talk about sentiment, how people are feeling in market breadth, of the 11 sectors, just 2 lower today, healthcare and utilities, but the rest of them with up arrows today: energy, communication services, consumer discretionary, and tech leading the way. You're also watching the U.S. dollar, which just is right around this 99 mark. It just really doesn't do much at all.
Hasn't done much at all here, but if you kind of look at the dollar from a technical standpoint, and we're going to kind of go back and pull back, this is going to be actually a weekly chart here, but we actually have the CCI once again kind of breaking through that oversold level. And if you kind of go back and look over the last 3 years, usually when we break above that that CCI level, that's going to be that indicator way at the bottom there. We actually do see some follow through when it comes to upside price appreciation for the dollar. I have some examples where we had back in July of 2023, we had a 4.8% move once that signal actually hit. You can go back also back in January of 2024, same type of reaction here. So that's something to keep my eye on. Do we see more of a retracement back to the upside when it comes to the dollar? And the reason being is the gold trade is going to be dependent on that dollar as well. As the dollar has been moving lower, gold has been moving higher. If we do see the dollar moving higher here, does gold actually come back and actually maybe retrace some of these gains? And you actually saw that type of price action yesterday. You saw it earlier this morning. And I'm curious to see if that trend is actually going to continue, given the fact that we have the history of the dollar trying to rebound and actually make some gains with that CCI cross. Do we actually see a breakdown in gold? And you can make the case that might be something that does actually get priced in here over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so dollar gold, I want to hear more about that, which gold right now is down about $18 a troy ounce today. By the way, Bitcoin, I'm watching the 100,000 mark too, folks. It's at 99,850 for Bitcoin. Some final thoughts here because of the gold story. I mean, we saw it above 3,400 not that long ago.
Yeah, it has been a safe haven asset. I mean, all is not lost when it comes to the gold trade. I mean, the trend is continuing to be to the upside. And I think the market right now obviously is a little bit enthusiastic when it comes to this trade deal. But there are reports that we may actually not see the 10% tariffs being reduced for the UK. So if this is going to be a model, does it actually really change the landscape for some of these other countries that we do have bigger trade deals with? So keep your eye out on that. But the gold trade has been a fundamentally a good one over the last couple of months here. But given that dollar dynamic, and if we do see a retracement in the dollar to the upside here, I think it's going to be a headwind for gold in the near term. So we'll see how this correlation actually kind of plays out here. Dollar traditionally, Nicole, once we get to rate cuts, which once again, we're kind of pricing that in for July, usually the dollar will actually move to the downside because it's a signal of economic weakness and then also strength for other countries and currencies out there. So technical saying dollar's moving higher here. Sentiment and maybe the market sentiment here right now is still saying dollar could actually have more room to the downside.
All right, Kevin Green, great to see you. Thank you for all of that. Appreciate it.